Welcome back. The suspected Colorado attacker, 45-year-old Egyptian national Mohammed Suleiman, in court for the first time.
That's right. Solomon is facing several charges, including one for a federal hate crime. Those charges come after the alleged attack on a group of Israel supporters, where Solomon is accused of using a makeshift flamethrower and Molotov cocktails.
We're looking right there at the courthouse. Joining us now for more reaction to this is former U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., and former Chief Counsel to the Senate Rules Committee, Joe diGenova, alongside former Chief Counsel to the Senate Intelligence Committee and former Senior Justice Department official Victoria Toensing. Both are Newsmax contributors, and back with us is former Naval Intelligence Officer John Jordan. Great to have everybody here. Victoria, I want to start with you. We do know that there's been 8 people that have been injured, 4 men, 4 women. These were considered senior citizens, some of them. We're still waiting on the charges, though, and the first court appearance. We understand that they're looking for murder charges here. What is the law in Colorado? If there haven't been anyone, if someone hasn't died yet, as far as we know, why bring these charges of murder?
Well, I have no idea. And in fact, you're talking to someone who I started the terrorism section at the Justice Department when I was there as Deputy Assistant Attorney General. And I would think that the important thing would be for the Attorney General to take over this case. It's a federal case. They should file federal charges. I don't trust the state of Colorado. Look how stupid they were about, oh, we don't know if it's terrorism, it's too soon. And I would bet you Biden's Justice Department would have been saying the same thing out of the FBI, but not under Kash Patel. It's terrorism. When you say free Palestine and injure people, it's terrorism.
Yeah, Joe, the FBI, though, calling this terrorism, so that is the good news here. But, you know, this is something, again, that we're seeing more and more, but also hearing that this person who was here, the suspect who was here illegally, said he'd been planning this for a year. How does someone like this and then something like this go undetected?
Well, when you have a Biden administration which opens the border and lets in people from China, from Asia, from the subcontinent, you name it, as well as South and Central America, with no vetting whatsoever, this is what you get. It's pretty easy to hide in a country this big with 330 million Americans when it looks like we may have now as much as 30 to 35 million illegals in the United States. The bottom line is very simple. You cannot protect against a lone wolf. This is a lone wolf. You can take all the precautions you want. You're never going to stop this type of terrorist. And that's why the Biden policy is directly responsible for this. And that's why that chief of police of Boulder, who didn't want to be divisive by calling it terrorism, is a joke.
John, we do know that this person lived in El Paso, in Colorado. It's a county. It's about an hour and 45 minutes drive to Boulder, Colorado. Clearly, he said he planned this for about a year. What does it tell you about maybe the steps that he took? Picked up gas along the way. Obviously, there were other explosives that were found nearby. Clearly, this was somewhat of a coordinated attack on his part. But why no signs? Why were they not able to were there nothing on social media or anything that might have tipped them off?
Yeah. Well, ordinarily, these purchase of these items would be harmless, and that's why that went undetected. They're not flagged. The probability of getting caught by law enforcement intelligence is proportional to the number of times that a would-be perpetrator talks, whether it's to a coworker, friend, family, or so forth, or posts on social media. When they keep a low profile and are quiet, the odds of catching them beforehand is it shrinks considerably. Now, with regard to federal law here, for example, Colorado state law, Colorado doesn't have a death penalty. There is an applicable federal death penalty here. And this is what lawyers call, and I am an attorney, call oftentimes concurrent jurisdiction for the same acts that can be prosecuted both ways. But it looks like the federal court, the U.S. attorney there should take the lead on this, because the feds have a more robust legal toolbox to prosecute this, and probably more incentive to do so than do the state prosecutors in Colorado.
Yeah, excellent point there. All right, Joe, Vic, and John, again, we wait to see that suspect in court. There will also be a local update from local authorities in Boulder, and of course, we're going to bring that to everybody live. We appreciate it. Thank you.